Hello, blessed soul family. So I know you guys love when I make these videos where I'm opening something. So I got a new package and I wanted to, sorry, it's filthy, but I have to tell you, it's kind of interesting because I just ordered this a few days ago and I ordered quite a few things and, they weren't all coming together. And basically I ordered 3 new decks and one isn't even coming till like the end of August, and the other two, basically one said it was going to be here between the 12th and the 14th, and the next one was like 16th to the 18th. So here it is, the 9th. Blessed new moon in Cancer, by the way. It's not technically the new moon. It will be at 1:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. So it's technically on the 10th for where I live. So wherever you live, it may be the 9th for you. But anyway, so long story short, I had no, I wasn't even expecting it. The last email I saw was yesterday saying, that's when it was coming. So because the other things already arrived that I knew were going to come quickly, I'm very excited to see which deck this is because I have a feeling which one I think it is, but I haven't seen my emails. So I literally have no idea. Okay, are you ready? Da, 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 da. It is. It's the one I thought. Yay. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share this deck with you. Okay, so I'm a little concerned though because, oh, Bird Messages. Okay, there it is. I don't see a title. Bird Messages by Susie Green. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to open them up. Okay, I wanted to put I opened it up and I wanted to put like a little blessing on it. I didn't think about this when this was the setup that I was using partially anyway for the new moon in Cancer, real talk and a reading, which by the way, that one I was pulled to put solely on my Patreon channel. I may do a few highlights from it to see if you're, so inclined, and then there'll be a link below. But that one in particular was just for the patrons. By the way, I just want you to know something, that one of my spirit guides is a blue jay, and as I am holding this up right now, a blue jay just flew. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it at the top of that? Stay there, blue jay. I'm like, stay there, blue jay. Do you see him? I don't even know if I can see him. I mean, that's crazy. Hi. So my dad came to me as a blue jay. And years ago when I was visiting Chicago, I went down to Peatone, where a lot of my family lives. And long story short, the farms, the way that they're set up down there, they're so vast that there aren't a lot of trees like along the old country roads, right? So this bird, this humongous blue jay, dive bombed us, right? And my mom was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like we almost hit it, and I was like, "Wow!" I'm like, "Did you see that?" And my mom was like, that's kind of crazy." And then she was just like, "Oh, it's just a bird," kind of thing. Like she just like, it's like I could tell it frightened her, but at the same time, she just like wouldn't give in to the energy of it. And then I said to her, I go, "Well, I believe that's a sign that the blue jay is trying to tell us that." And I think my mom might have even said something like, the bird it's just a bird, or it's dumb or something like that. It almost got hit. And I said, "No, that's what I'm trying to say, Mom. It's a corvid. They're very intelligent. So there are no trees around here. It didn't dive bomb us." And, my mom's like, "Oh, it was probably looking for food." It was like she just wanted to give all these like reasons. And I was like, "No." And then I was like, "Dad has come to me many times as a blue jay." I'm like, "I think it was Dad." And, my dad's been gone now, I think 7 years. So, anyway, that's just kind of awesome. So that right there shows you just how awesome spirit is, how awesome nature is. And thanks, Dad. You're amazing. So we're going to come back here. But honestly, like, that's so crazy. So yeah, like she didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to. And I was like, why? I'm like, why do you have such a hard time believing in magic? I'm like, why? Like, what's the story? What's the deal? I'm like, why can't you just believe that is what that is, And that's just what she believed. So anyway, little side note. I didn't know we were going to talk about that. By the way, the blue jay's gone. That's so awesome. So recently, most of you know I work with birds a lot, especially ravens, crows, and, the blue jay, all the corvids. And, but the owl is definitely one of my spirit animals. It was one of my grandma's spirit animals. Here's Hootie right over here. Mr. Clyde. Um, And recently, we have a new tribe member. Hi, Jim, who I've been working with. We've had 2 magical sessions together. He's like one of the most powerful magicians I've ever met. He started making sigils without even knowing what he was doing. It was just like his higher self like stepped in and like reminded him like who he was, kind of thing. It's really powerful. And he too has like a lot of bird medicine, a lot of bird energy. And what I found in our tribe is that a lot of old souls like us, it makes sense that we would have a really strong connection to the bird community. So if you have anything, feel free to comment below if you have any stories yourself. But anyway, I just wanted to, so I wanted to, long story short is I've been trying to get this deck forever, and Spirit's always said no. And then once I started working with him and they told me I needed to order I have some new people I'm going to be working with, I had to order some new decks, or it was time to order some new decks. It didn't surprise me that Spirit said to bring this one in, because I was like, well, of course, you know what I mean? Like all of these, powerful birds want to speak with us. So I just wanted to show you how cool this is. Ooh, look at that. I love new decks. Okay, hold on. I'm going to open it up. Okay, so now that I've blessed the deck, spoke to the deck, spoke to the energies behind the deck and said, thank you, express my gratitude. Now I am shuffling the cards. And I'll tell you, this is really nice. Like, that's the book. My only negative right now is that, like the cards didn't come in a box or anything. It's like this part goes inside this box, but it's, I don't know, it's kind of flim-flammy. I feel like this could have been made just a little bit better. Other than that, aces all the way. I would give it 5 stars. The color's beautiful. Look at how pretty these cards are, all the different colors and everything, really vibrant. The messages are clear and easy to read, which I like. So far, I haven't, I haven't cracked the book open yet, but let's, sorry about that, you guys. I didn't mean to knock you off kilter there. Okay. So let's see. Oh yeah, the book's nice. Oh yeah, wow. Oh, look at how pretty. I love when they go that extra mile to make the coloring in the book. And I'll tell you what, if the coloring in the book, like if I had this or this set up, this flim flam for the cards, I'll take it, just because I can always get a case for the cards, or, make a little bag for the cards. So it's not that big of a deal. Plus I have little compartments I can put the cards in. Anyway, so here is the bird messages. So I thought, since we were opening this up, why don't we pull some cards? Let's see what Spirit has to say. I'm going to shuffle for a little while. How are you guys doing? How are things going on in your world? I'm excited for a lot of new challenges and changes that are up ahead, but it's going to be really good. By the end of the year, I guarantee you a lot of things are going to come through. A lot of things are going to happen. A lot of good things. Also, even though this is the moon in Cancer, next month, the new moon in Leo is actually on 8/8. Which is the Lionsgate portal. So that's really profound too. So it's time for you to start putting your manifestations, like really like writing things down and saying, what is, maybe making a list of the things that you feel are stopping you from doing whatever it is you need to do, whether it's a new job or goals or relationships, whatever it is. And then after writing down those things, then saying to yourself, okay, what do I really want? Like, what have you wanted since you were a child? What have you thought about since you were a kid? Like, what is it that you want, that you feel like you still need to accomplish? Or what is it that you've always wanted to do and didn't think you could do it? The birds are here to tell us that you can. And by the way, we just pulled a lot of cards. I don't have that much time on here, so if it cuts off where it's meant to. And then maybe I'll just take pictures, or I'll do another video. But anyway, a lot of things are going to be changing. And also on my Patreon channel, I have 2 classes. The first 2 classes that we're going to be that I'm going to be teaching. One is going to be about the apple and all the energies and the history and magic behind the apple. And then another class, we're going to be learning about lavender and the same kind of things about lavender. So those are the first classes. And we're also going to be working with tarot. I don't know when, but we're definitely going to, because Spirit has had me invest in 5 different tarot decks, and they are so different that I feel like that's what they want to do. Like they want me to like show the tarot, you know, just to show how different tarot is, right? You know what I'm saying? And that how each deck was created by a different person from their own level of consciousness, and it's not just the same old Rider Waite, you know, traditional tarot. It's like tarot's changing. People are you know, using old gifts and bringing things. I mean, it's like, you know, of course there's always been tea leaves and palmistry and all that, but now people are even bringing those like into oracle cards and tarot cards and helping people to find better avenues to educate themselves on spirit. Okay, so here we are, you guys. We're going to pull some cards. The first one we pulled, oh gosh, you know I need my glasses for this. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. The bearded vulture. The bearded vulture. Let outward deeds and words match inner feelings. Wow, that's really interesting, because I'm literally looking at this for the first time like you are. Like, even if I've had readings or watched readings or whatever on YouTube or whatever, it's like this is the first time I've ever like seen this deck, and I'm just really studying the picture. So the bearded vulture, let outward deeds and words match your inner feelings. Wow. So what are you repressing? Are you not allowing yourself? Oh, look at that. Look at where the light is, because Spirit was very persuasive about putting the card exactly in that spot. So I think it's really interesting, because I feel like it's in your heart chakra, maybe. Like, I don't know exactly the bird's anatomy, but it feels like the core. So maybe it's like from your heart down to your heart chakra, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. It's almost like all 4 of those. Like, I feel like Spirit's like, get those in check, get those in point. Even with the coloring of the bird reminds me of like the lower chakras. So, you know, getting grounded. And look at, I mean, you know, vultures fly up in the air, right? But in this new moon energy, Spirit's saying like, you know, you're trying to fly, but you're still, you know, you're not leaving the ground. It's like I got 2 messages from that, right? Like you're flapping your wings, but you're not leaving the ground. And then I also got this other vibe where Spirit's like, sometimes even the birds have to, you know, touch the ground, right? Like they have to get grounded, they have to get rooted. So your lower chakras would definitely indicate that. That's really interesting. They're not having me go through the book right now. I don't know why. Maybe some of the other ones we will, but right now that's what they're having me do. Okay, so the next one is a sun bittern. Sun bittern. I have never ever seen this bird in my life, unless it was maybe, you know, in a zoo or something, but I've never seen this bird, and it is absolutely striking. It's interesting because did I say this already, by the way, that I did a new moon reading just for the Patreon people? That's right. Yeah. So it's interesting because one of the main, our mascot, our spirit animal mascot for the new moon and Cancer reading was the peacock. And I feel like this is almost like a cross between a peacock and a turkey, which is very interesting because they're very, very different animals, right? So this says outflank adversaries. Outflank adversaries, sorry, by keeping a low profile unless threatened. So what I get from this is, we had a fellow tribe member went to go spend time with some family recently, and we had a really great reading beforehand, and we spoke of, you know, that they have challenges with their family, you know, just like most of us do in this tribe, right? Because a lot of our earthbound families here are not like-minded like us, or even if they are, they're not as awake as we are, and so that can be really frustrating at times. And so I said, well, you know, you can either avoid it or you can just go into it, but go into it, you know, with the vibe of like, hey, you know what, if I don't like something, I'm going to leave. Or if I don't like what somebody's saying to me, I'm going to speak up for myself. And they were successful at that. So, you know, if you feel like you still want to be around certain family and you feel like you can handle certain things, then do it. But you want to outflank your adversaries by keeping a low profile unless threatened. So if you're somebody that feels threatened when you're around, like coworkers, family, friends, or whatever, certain groups of people, then don't go. The low profile is like, just don't go at all. Like, keep a low profile by not being there. You don't have to, show up to every single thing. And as we're seeing, as the planet is changing, we are all changing as well. Bit by bit, we are all changing. And so our families and our friends are either going to grow and change with and evolve with us, or they're not. And so Spirit is saying, do you want to, because I almost feel like this almost feels like they think they're camouflaged, right? But Spirit's like, yeah, but you got all these bright colors and you're kind of standing out. So it's like, for some of you, you're going to stand out no matter what. It's just who you are. And I'm also hearing like, don't be who you are just so that you maintain a low profile, right? Like, you can do that, but then you're not really being yourself, are you? You're being a version of yourself for other people. But like, if you're this beautiful and vibrant, why would you hide yourself? And as much as you think you're hiding yourself, you can go with no makeup, no flashy clothes, no nothing, and you are still going to look like this, because your energy and your aura, this is who you are. So this is who you are. This is who you're always going to be. And the more you hide, you're hiding literally from yourself. Oh, the next one is the flamingo. I'm actually kind of excited to read the book, but we'll do that another day. By the way, I have to tell you that if you have not seen the animated movie called Nomeo, like a gnome, like, right, like a garden gnome, it's a animation or whatever. It's called Nomeo and Juliet. It was so good. It was so good. It was one of those things I was just at the library and I'm like, oh, I think I heard of that, but I never seen it. I loved it so much, I'm going to buy it. Like, I loved it so much. But there's a flamingo in there. You know how like we have yard flamingos, those plastic flamingos? Oh my gosh, there's a flamingo character in there that is so precious that it made me think of when I first started my journey, that the flamingo came up for me all the time. It was really powerful how much. And then when I saw it, and that I was like, oh, I haven't worked with the flamingo in a while. So it doesn't surprise me that the flamingo came up. So it says, nourish your soul and you will survive harsh circumstances. Yeah, like that circumstance, right? Like if you're, look at the first one, let outward deeds and words match inner feelings, right? Like, be who you are is what that card says. That is literally what that card is saying, is be who you are, in so many words. Then the next card is saying, in order for you to outflank adversaries, you need to keep a low profile unless threatened, right? And then if you are going to be threatened, or if you feel like you're being threatened, it's like having that energy and the know-how and the knowing of self that you can quickly respond in a way where, I'm sorry you feel that way, or whatever languaging you would use if somebody comes to attack you, right? If you're feeling threatened by a friend or a family member. I mean, I was just talking about this recently with somebody. Like, I went home for a wedding several years ago, and one of my cousins was like, we just never really got along. And actually, that's not true. A lot of my relationships with my friends and family have been roller coaster, where we get along, we don't get along, we get along. And because of who I am, right? And because of who they are. And, our souls love each other and we're awesome together, but then the human shit gets in, the muggle shit gets in, and then it totally distorts it totally perverts the relationship into something gross, into this 3D energy that's not even real. So anyway, I just remember this family member just kept coming for me and just making fun of me and just being a jerk. And I just was like, wow, like, and I was so concerned about what was going to happen that I asked one of my shamans at the time. I was really, scared. I said, I don't know what I'm going to say. And they said, you know what you say? You look right back at them and you say, I'm sorry you feel that way. And every time they come for you, you say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I continued to say that several times until they mocked it back to me. This is somebody who was like 50 years old and literally was like, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, have another cocktail, brother. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, oh, we should not be like enemies. We should be friends. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't even, But the weird thing is I was shaking on the inside. I wasn't ready for that. And other like friends and family were like, dude, like knock it off. Like you're being a dick. But it does, or at least I was giving only a few people actually like stuck up for me. Other people were just kind of looking at the whole situation like what's going to happen because we were big personalities. But you know what I mean? It's like sometimes you just got to like just stand up for yourself and say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to, sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way, but this is who I am. And I am not going to change or stop being an awesome flamingo just because, you can't handle it. You can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? That's their problem, not yours. Oh, I love this. The blue tit. You gotta laugh. You gotta Beavis and Butthead a little bit and be like, he said tit. I'm sorry. Maybe that's like my Southside Chicago. Maybe it's my playful fairy, but it's funny. So, but they are cute little blue tits. Find your voice and free your spirit. Yes. This new moon wants you to release and let go. Cancer is one of the most emotional signs of the zodiac. In my opinion, I think it is the most emotional. It's a water sign. So use this energy for the next few weeks until Leo season starts, which is fire, right? So get this shit out. Confront what you need to confront, because by the time you get to the new moon in Leo, which is a month from now, you're going to have more of this fire, bright fire energy behind you, cheering you on, right? I feel like this wants to go here, like this. Not to cover the flamingo, but to... And we've got this guy in the background. Can we get this? Can this go here? Nice. Woohoo! I love when spirit sets things up for me. So yeah, so find your voice and free your spirit. I mean, there's nothing to fear, because even if your friends and your family turn away from you and you are alone, good. Because the second you're alone is when you're going to finally figure out who the fuck you are and say, I am not going to put up with this shit anymore. I am not going to take this from people anymore. I am going to use my voice. Spirit brought me here for a reason. This is the most tumultuous time this planet has ever seen. And from what I can understand and gather, of course, things happen throughout the solar system, different galaxies, whatever, the universe, whatever languaging you want to put on it. This isn't the only, planet with strife. But what I do get from Spirit is that this Earth planet is a learning place. And I believe it's never been through anything. I believe no other planets have ever been through something so miraculous, which is why there are so many light workers. There's 196 subscribers right now, you guys, and we are all really powerful. If you are subscribed to this channel, deep down, you're special. You've got gifts. So Spirit's like, use your voice and free your spirit, because we need you right now. Not last week, not tomorrow, not next year, right now. So use this water energy to release that, whatever it is, whether it's anger, whether it's go through the 7 stages of death, get pissed off. You can't be a good light worker if you're not kumbaya. It's bullshit. I don't know where I come from. Also, look at that, my throat chakra. Out of nowhere, I've been talking for 23 minutes, which, by the way, when I looked down, it was 23:10 and then 11. So if those spirit numbers resonate, look them up. And feel free to comment below if you find anything that pertains to this or to yourself. But, I'm realizing now, and then I looked down again, it was 23, which is, what is that? That's 10, right? 5, it's 5 and 5, which 5 is all about change and transformation and facing that difficult shit, really working through it. But then what is 10? It's completion. It's the end. And that's what new moons are. They're the end of something and the beginning of something else. Because if you take away that 0, it's number 1 and you're starting over. But you cannot, you know what that term where they say like bloom where you're planted? Yes. But it's like you cannot expect, like if you take one of these birds, right? Like they may be able to acclimate or assimilate to their surroundings, and I don't know anything about them, but let's take the flamingo, for example, because we know that that's more of a tropical bird. But if you took a flamingo and you put them in Antarctica, they'd probably die, I would think. I mean, right? Because they're completely different places. So even though you could say, oh, bloom where you're planted, it's like, there you go, flamingo. Go from warm, hot, beautiful humidity to freezing, ice cold, dry. Good luck. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? It's like, what kind of holy hell is that? The flamingo would be like, oh, okay. And I'm sure they would do the best they could to adapt. But I would think that they would die. So, think about where you are. If you're in a situation with friends or family or work, whatever it is, significant other, and you just constantly feel like your voice is being squashed and your spirit is being broken, that is not the place for you. I pray every day that the people that I stop talking to, friends, family, coworkers, whatever situations, I pray that they come back around. But if they don't, they don't. I cannot continue my life worried about whether or not they're going to like me, love me, understand me. I spent almost 50 years of my life trying to get people to understand me. And you know what I realized in 49 years? That it doesn't fucking matter. Because if I love myself and I understand myself, and there's just a couple people out there who love and understand me, that's enough. But I came from a very, very, very large family. My dad was one of 8. My mom was one of 6. I have 20, 30 cousins, 25, 30 cousins, something like that. And so I just always felt this like I needed to have more people. Why don't they love me? I had this like, they have to like me kind of thing. And then all of a sudden I was like, why do I care so much whether or not these people like me? Because most of the people who don't like you don't like themselves. Because if they don't like you, there must be something about themselves that they don't like. Because they don't have unconditional love for you, they must not have unconditional love for themselves, right? Because I can unconditionally love somebody, but I don't need to stay in their orbit or stay in a place of sadness or depression or feel bad about myself. That's not part of why we're here. So the next one is the starling. Oh, can I tell you, we have so many starlings around the farm. It's crazy. And there is a beautiful family that constantly nests in the barn. And it's really cute. The other day, I got too close to the barn. I could hear them chirping. I can hear the chirps, but I got too close to the barn and they were like, get out. But they're really cool birds. And it says, find strength in social community and achieve your goals. Yeah, all these starlings, they look out for each other. And watching the little babies, it's like you see the bigger birds on like the barns on the trees while the babies are learning to fly. It was like really neat, but they look out for each other. So find your tribe. If you're in a community that doesn't feel, like they have your back, then they're not your tribe. That's what I finally realized. I'm like, my family, they're like, oh, that's your family. All families fight, or all families, talk smack on each other, all families. And I was like, you know what though? But I don't want to be a part of a family that makes fun of me. I don't want to be part of a family that thinks I'm crazy or whatever. I don't give a shit what they think of me, but I definitely, like, why would I want them around me? Like, think about it. It's like in anything, your job, your relationships, and especially, absolutely, positively, especially your home. Especially your home. That is supposed to be your safe space. And if you don't feel safe in your home, if you are not 100% yourself in your home, you are not in the right place. That is really the end of that story. So the Roman tufted goose. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, my dear beloved friend Nancy. I went to visit her in Belgium and she's like, I have to take you to this house. And there was this really old house like this, but even like more grand. And it was surrounded by this massive like wrought iron gate and just like, cement like columns. Like it was really cool. It looked like something like, it was in Belgium. It was like hundreds of years ago. But anyway, she's like, wait till you see these geese. And we get up and they're like, they came to the gate, like there was like 12 of them or something. And they came at that gate like a pack of wolves or pit bulls, or like, I love pit bulls, but they are, and they're cuddly and sweet and loving, but they're fierce too, right? Like a German Shepherd, they're really protective. Like all dogs are beautiful and cute, but you got some breeds, Rottweilers, like they will fuck your shit up. Although I say that in spirit's like, well, so would Chihuahuas. I'm like, that's true. But you get what I'm saying, right? And then I realized, I was like, I'd never seen geese that big, first of all, but I just was like, wow, they are really powerful and smart. So take heed of those who give warnings. This is a message right here, right? Like Spirit's giving you a message right here. Like, take heed. You deserve better. You deserve more. You don't need this. These people are not your people. The albatross. Conserve your energy and reap bountiful. reap. I'm sorry, I couldn't read it from here. Conserve your energy and reap bountiful rewards. Yes, for this summer and definitely through the rest of, if you're in the southern hemisphere in the winter, it's the same thing. I always feel like the summer and the winter are like those, like kind of like kickback months or kickback seasons, right? Because we're planting everything in the spring and then we're, harvesting in the fall. And in between, we're just trying to keep everything going. So conserve your energy so you can reap bountiful rewards. We don't always have to be going 24/7. Look at this bird's just kind of like coasting. Go to the water, use that time for yourself, the albatross. And if any of these feel like, if you're drawn to it, definitely, look them up. You can put up albatross, goose, starling, whatever, spirit medicine, spirit animal, if you want to go deeper into these cards. So the ostrich, magic remains even while you ground yourself and be practical. Yeah, so even while you're relaxing, magic is everywhere, right? It's interesting because I was thinking of the ostrich when I was telling the story about the flamingo going to the north, because I was like, yeah, ostriches too. I'm like, yeah, they have like these big bodies, but it's like, look at those strong, powerful legs and those strong, powerful necks, right? Like, it's like they're all like their core is like heavy and strong. So they need to be able to rest so that they can, they run like, I think 35, 50 miles an hour, something crazy like that. I know that they run really, really, really fast and they're extremely smart. But also, you ever hear about, the ostrich putting their head in the sand? So Spirit's saying, you don't have to put your head in the sand. You can just go and relax on a beach or go to a park, or, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Thank you, Bearded Vulture. We're going to put the ostrich back there. Okay, and so our last card on this blessed new moon in Cancer is, the Emperor Penguin. Look at that. We were just talking about birds that were from one to the other, right? So yeah, look at this flamingo. Look at the flamingo. And there's water there too. I mean, come on. Spirit was like, look at that, right? So we've got all this water energy. Get near water. I don't care if it just means getting in a bathtub, running the sprinkler. Oh my gosh. We had a situation where it was so hot here, it was like ungodly, and Ed and I were like running through the sprinklers, and I was like, gosh, you forget how fun and playful it is. Oh, look at that. And the Emperor Penguin, my throat chakra's getting, work on your throat chakra, Spirit said. If you don't know what a throat chakra is, research it. But the Emperor Penguin says small steps lead to profound metamorphosis. Penguins are very playful, but they look out for each other, right? They've got a lot of predators to deal with, a lot of predators. The poor penguin, and maybe not poor penguin, right? They're really powerful creatures, but also they're very slick, right? Like they let the water like run off of them. All birds have feathers or skin that is like, lets the water run off, right? Like helps the water, like water off a duck's back. Have you ever heard that expression? And so in this Cancer energy, in this new moon in Cancer, I'm getting this vibe from Spirit that they were showing the green back here too. And that's why the Bearded Vulture wanted to come out again, is, getting grounded by the water. And I've spoke of it before, but if you're new here, and welcome to all the new subscribers, but if you're new here, look up on YouTube. There is a documentary called Grounding, or The Grounding. It's a guy from Alaska, and he talks about earthing and grounding and how profound it is, like to take your shoes and your socks off and just like really like ground for like more than like 30 minutes to an hour. It changes everything. It changed me. It changed my practice, my clients. That's something that has been instilled in me since day one about getting grounded. Because I used to hear from people all the time, gosh, you're all over the place. You're so ungrounded. You're so ungrounded. So if you hear that, or if people are like, you're a bull in a china shop, or if your energy is just feeling really unglued, that's because you need to get grounded. And it's hard, right? Because you're like this big white light entity on this, very dense energy right now. Even though we are feeling the 5G, we know that 5D, that it's here. It's the 3D energy is clawing to stay alive. Don't feed into it, right? It's like the demon energy. Like if a darkness is coming for you, you just say, go away before a house falls on you too, right? Like the old, Wizard of Oz analogy. I'm about to get cut off. So you hear what I'm saying? Take good care of yourselves. And I'm excited for the new deck. So thanks for hanging around, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to join my new Patreon channel. Love you.